Look at that timing. How's everybody doing? Anybody on? Hold on. Just clearing some stuff up here. All right. How did the test go? We're going over some of the most missed problems here. Now remember, if you're in Discord, you could talk. If you're on regular old, hey Nathan, how are you doing? If you're on YouTube, some people are typers. That's okay. What I want to do is I want to go over the most missed questions on that, and then some people were like, this the lockdown is not as stable as lockdown's not as stable as it's supposed to be. Okay, so what I did was, don't tell anybody, if you take a look at Schoology, hold on here. If you take a look at Schoology, under the e-learning days, week 1, hey Chloe, right here is the PDF. I thought it was the exact same version. The first few questions are the exact same, but then the questions kind of change. So let's just go slowly here and make sure that the questions from the actual online test are the same as the question of this one. It's supposed to be. This is supposed to be the same test. So if you take a look at it, here's the PDF of the test that you were taking online. Okay? And so what we're going to start, let's go over some of the most missed questions online, and then we'll see if they're the same ones. Because in Calc BC, like the most missed question wasn't the same one that it is on the PDF. So I thought they were the exact same thing, but we'll see that by ear. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we want to make sure that everybody is getting their questions answered. I don't want any holes because I was thinking more about the AP test. Now, what I really think it's going to be is it's going to be three free response questions. I'll know for sure they're going to post everything this Friday. I'll know for sure what's going on. It'll be 3 free response questions, probably with calculator, because they can't control that. So probably with calculator, 45-minute test. If we all come back, if we're in school, then we'll probably take it all in the same room. If we're not in school, then we will you'll take it at home. Okay, so we'll prepare that day and say, okay, go take your test, because they'll probably say, maybe at this time, this is the time they want to take the test. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear. We'll know more Friday. But so I'm thinking it's going to be 3 free response questions with calculator. Now that's a good and a bad thing, because if it's with if it's just 3 questions, you got to be on your game and make sure you get those 3 questions right. So that's why we got to really review. Notice what's not on there is that area volume problems, which were pretty easy, unfortunately. So we're going to just go through the ones that are up there. So I really appreciate the 5 of you coming on. And those of you watching this later, you gotta here's where you gotta build some character here, because if you're sleeping right now when you're supposed to be here online, you can look at it later. I don't have a problem with that, but I need to know what questions you're getting wrong. Okay, so this is the assignment. Okay, the assignment is you go through the PDF one. I'll keep going through the online one, but like I said, like Mark was saying, he was having problems. A lot of people were saying, Stephanie was saying too, that they're having problems with the technology. And remember, don't get scared. Don't get all upset. If you saw your grades today, I updated grades today. If you want to take a look at those, so don't get all excited. Don't get all frustrated that the technology is not working. The frustration should come in, I want to learn. The frustration should be there, hey, I need to use this to help me learn. Okay, so here's the assignment for today, and I'll post it on Schoology also. The assignment is on the PDF version that I posted. Take a look at it right here on the PDF version. Let me enlarge that for you. Let's put it over here. You don't need to see me. On the PDF version, take a look. Online, go through right here, see how the no calculator questions. Okay, go through the no calculator questions. Some of them are going to be the same. Like I looked at when I was posting this, I looked at the first 2 or 3 questions and they were the exact same thing. So some of them are going to be the same questions that we had already. Go through the first, like the no calculator part. So 1 through 30. Okay, do those questions. Now, post tomorrow the ones that you're like, I'm stuck. I don't get how to answer that question. Everybody should post. Okay? Everybody post. Even though if you see someone posted your question, like I need to do question number 30, and you saw someone that says already, I do question 30. You say, I'm going to do these five most missed questions. You wanted to pick 5 problems that you want to do, and then I'll categorize them, and I'll see, 12 people said they want to do question number 30. That's the one we'll start with. Okay? Because, some people are going to, look at this throughout the day. So that is your assignment. Does that make sense for everybody? Those 5-6 of you that are here now? Well, that's 33% of the class is here. It'd be nice to get everybody here. Okay, does that make sense? That go through this PDF version. Some of them will be the same questions that you had on your online one. The problem with that is online's nice because I could see exactly which ones people got wrong. Okay, tomorrow. We'll work on it today. I could see online the questions that people got wrong. But now I'm like, if you're doing these questions, I don't know which ones you're getting right and which ones you're getting wrong. So you got to say, these are the questions I want to go over. You could post more than 5, but I'm going to start with the 5 most missed ones. Okay, the 5 ones that you have questions on. So that's the actual test that I think is online. Does that all make sense? Does somebody say something? Is that making sense to you? No one say anything. Here's where you say, don't wait for someone else to say something. Does that make sense of what I want you to do? No, it's okay. I'll wait for you guys to say something. It's in our cohort on Schoology under e-learning, week 1, and there's the test that we're going to work on this week. Okay, so and we'll do with calculator, no calculator. We'll do free response, multiple choice. We'll just keep working through this document here. Okay, so all you have to do is go through the first 30, those with calculator or the no calculator ones. Okay, go through those 30 on no calculator, and you're going to get some of them right. You're going to get some of them wrong. Notice on that, take a look also. This is the actual PDF document, so the answers are there somewhere. You could scroll through it, and somewhere the answers are. Okay, don't publish this or anything like that because I'm not supposed to have this, but somewhere the answers are on the document. So you could, once you do something, you could take a look at your answers and say, I got that one wrong still. And then you try to figure out why you got that one wrong. Let's see if we can find it. But there's going to be some that you're going to get stuck on. Okay, that's just natural. You're going to get stuck on some. Let's see, now here comes the free responses. And we'll go through these also. So this is the document we're going to work on. There you go. There's the answers for the multiple choices. So work through that. Okay, work through those. And the ones that you get wrong, you say, I got those one. I don't know. I still can't figure out why that one is correct. I can't figure out why I'm getting that one wrong. Why is that the answer? Because my issue is on online on AP Classroom, I could tell exactly which ones you got wrong. But people are saying that is not as stable as we would like. Although, today there it is. See how this question right up here. 11 people got this one wrong. Only one person got it right. We're going to work through this one. Find out where the mistake is. See, that's nice for me. 7 people didn't do it. I'm going to call you out here on. Okay. So that one we'll work on tomorrow. But like I said, some of those questions are the same as this one. I thought they were all exactly the same. So like Mark and Stephanie, you guys were saying, I didn't get, or my lockdown manager locked me out and I had to reset my iPad and stuff like that. So I thought this would fix that problem because this is the test that I thought I put online. But AP Central, these 2 tests, some of them, we noticed first hour that some of these questions on this one was not the same question. Like, look at here. This one is question 11. And now I'm going to look at the question 11 from the PDF version of this test. It's supposed to be the same test. So let's look at question 11 from this one and see if it's the same one. You see what I mean? And we found out first hour that They were not the same. Not every question was the same. Some of them were the same, but not every question was the same. See, now look at this one. This is the exact same one on the test. Okay, so let's go over that. Let's do this one right now. But that's what we found out. A few of the questions weren't the same. So that's the only thing I'm worrying about right now. So go through these no calculator ones. Like I said, a lot of them will be the same, and I'll be able to go over them. Oh, session's going to expire. Ignore. Okay. So let's go over this question right now. This is question number 11. It's the same one on the PDF. Can you see my writing here? There's no calculator. How is, see what shows up here. I'm going to adjust my screen because you really don't need to see me. You need to see, then the questions will be on the PDF version. So really, let's see if you could, how this looks. Let's see if you could see. Sorry. Nope, not that screen. Not that one. There we go. Okay. This one doesn't need to be there. All right. So let's see. This is question number 11. It's the same as the PDF version. And the equation is x squared plus xy minus 3y equals 3. And they gave us a point 2 comma 1. Okay, and then they asked for the derivative. All right, so look at where the mistakes are coming in. Okay, first of all, when I come across this one, here's the key. They're doing this on purpose. Okay, when I take this derivative, you got to think right here, you got to think product rule. That is where I think a big mistake, that's where a big mistake is coming in. Remember, when you take that derivative, you got to do product rule on that. So if I take this derivative, I got 2x, and we'll exaggerate, dx dx, plus, now here comes the product rule. Okay, so we got derivative of the first, dx dx, times the second, plus derivative of the second, dy dx, times the first. And now we just keep going. 3 dy dx equals 0. Take a look at that. Okay, here's where you got to communicate back to me. You got to tell me where your mistake was. Is that feeling okay there? Okay, and keep your notes. And like I said, maybe you want to print out the PDF, print out just a section of no calculator, and try them. Okay, and all I want you to do is, during the day, as you're working through these, the first 30, the no calculator part, just list which questions you're stuck on. And we'll start going over it. If it takes us 2-3 days to go over it, it takes us 2-3 days to go over it. No big rush. Now we're going to plug in the number. Remember, we said when we simplify, don't try to do any algebra here. Just try to simplify through it. I got 2x, so I got 4 plus, let's keep these separate, y, which is 1, plus, now dy dx stays dy dx, so 2 dy dx, minus 3 dy dx equals 0. Follow along with you, or look at the work that you did. So I have 5 plus 2 dy dx minus 3 dy dx is equal to 0. Hopefully we're feeling pretty good right here. We got negative 1 dy dx. Move the negative 1 over. 5 is equal to dy dx. Show up there. Okay, now only one person got that one wrong. So you gotta help me out. You gotta tell me. And it wasn't really like a lot of people said 4, and I'm thinking that's with this derivative right here. Let's see, if I don't take this, if I don't use product rule right here, then I just have dy dx. I have 1 dy dx. So then I plug in this, so I got 4 plus dy dx minus 3 dy dx is equal to 0. That's going to get you 2. So that's why people said 2. So you got to, why would people say 4 on this? Here's where you got to help me out and say, right, you got to help me out and say, I don't know why a lot of people said 4 on this. So post something in the comments on why you said, well, you would say 4. But there's the correct way to do that one. And like I said, only one person got that one right. So That's one we need to work on. Let's take a look at others. Okay, take a look over here. Let's see which other ones I plugged in. Okay. Yeah, so don't do any algebra. The algebra might mess you up. It's easier to work with numbers than work with letters. So do the... Here we go. Nobody got this one right. This is question 16. Let's see what... Oh, don't look at my password. Oh, now I got to log all the way back in again. Okay, hold on. Let's go to class. And questions, progress. I don't want to be mean here, but 5 people didn't even do it yet. Guys, hey, this is where you guys start building some character here. This is where you got to work on your own. Okay, you paid for the AP test and you want to do the AP test. Okay, make sure you're working to accomplish the AP test. If you take a look at grades, I took care of grades. Don't worry about grades. Okay, but this is where we got to learn through that. Oh, look, reset. One person got that one right now. All right, so let's see if this is the same question. Okay, let's go see if this is the same question on this is question number 14. Is it the same one on the PDF? And it is the same one on the PDF. All right, good. So it looks like our test is pretty the same. Our test is pretty much this one. So this will be good. Okay, use the first. Let's go the first no calculator part. Work through those no calculator part again and see which ones you're still stuck on. Okay, no, I agree, Stephanie. That's why. Hold on, let me check if you're the only one online. Yeah, you're the only one participating right now, so you're my favorite. And we're not doing it like for 10 hours a day. It's just you want to prepare for your test. Okay, and I took grades out of the equation, so you really should just work on this. So those of you that are watching this, here's where Mr. Noah's lecturing. No, how come it says, okay, all you technology, oh, there you go, now you're, like, well, how come it said when I looked at participants, only Stephanie was? Is it like if you're not typing in, you're not a participant? Let me see if I can enlarge this. Does it say how many people are watching at any time? Who knows about this stuff? Oh, yeah, it says 9 people watching right now. Okay, so there's 9 people on, but when it says participants, see, now it's saying all you guys are participating. When I click on the participants under YouTube, yeah, but now it says 9 people are watching here, so who would be the 9? Okay, we got Hunter, Nathan, Deja. So Shill, I haven't seen. Anybody see Shill yet? Is he alive? Io, I haven't seen Io yet either. No, that's what I want you to do. I want you to say, hey, that's where I got stuck on. I want to see inside the chat. Wait. That's where I'm getting confused at. Just like a classroom. We could run this just like the classroom. Hey, Natalie, how are you? Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Now here, this is an easy one to fix. Okay. Somebody text everybody who's not here. This is an easy one to fix. Okay, because look at the way the wording was. Okay, so right away you recognize this as dy dx is equal to ky. Hopefully you look at that and go, oh, differential equations. That's a differential equation there. Okay? No, it's okay. And really, you don't have to be here live. I'd like to be here live because I miss you guys. I like to communicate. I like to talk to you guys. I've known you for 4 years. Okay. Look at this one. So this is number 14. Oh, I'll do better. Question 14. This is question 14 here. All right. And it started dy dx is equal to ky. Now, right away, you got to go, okay, that's that right away, that in my mind, you should go, oh, y equals ce to the kt. You should say to yourself, that's a differential equation. That's one of the ones that we studied. That's the standard differential equation. Remember with differential equations, separation of variables, no adding and subtracting. That's the standard one. Okay, so now here comes where the mistake comes in here. Okay, you got to make that connection. All right, a lot of people that said D, you're not thinking differential equations. A differential equation, the derivative is equal to ky, goes right to there. Okay, so let's take a look. So if I do separation of variables, like we'll do it the long way, let me change colors here. If I do it the long way, if I do separation of variables, which you don't have to if you make this connection, I get all the y's on one side. I got 1 over y dy. Remember, you're not allowed to add or subtract. You can only, okay, you see what I'm saying? You can only cross multiply. So I integrate this side, integrate this side. I got natural log, absolute value of y for that side. That's just 1 over y. That should be pretty standard. And then I got kx, not k squared over 2, kx plus c. There's the integral. I mean, is this Hunter? Is this what you're talking about? How did I get from here to here in green? Okay, here we'll go this way. Hunter, he said, how did you get that? Is this what you're talking about? How did you get that? How did I see this and right away say that? Is that what you're, oops, sorry, can you see? Is that what you guys are talking about? Yeah, okay, so if the shortcut, the thinking is this is a differential equation, this is a standard differential equation. You should be looking, this is exponential growth. Let me write that down. This is exponential growth. Okay, you look that up in your binder. You should be looking at that. This equation produces this, remember this differential equation, it has a derivative in it. This differential equation produces this function. And how do I get that? That's what we're doing here in purple. We're working our way backwards. Okay? So we're separating the variables here. We got dy dx is equal to ky. I get all the y's on one side, all the x's. There's no other x's. I get all the x's on this side. So remember, this is just a linear equation, kx plus c. Just like y equals mx plus b. This is just a constant. So I did the integration. Okay? I'm going to change the... Well, let's see here. It looks like it's on an angle. Oh, that went the wrong way. Sorry. It's just easier for me to write like... Hold on. So then I get natural log of y. So that looks... Yeah, it's easier for me to write like that. Kx plus c. Let me copy that down. We'll keep the absolute value around there. Okay? So now let's solve for y. We e both sides, right? So we e to this side, we e to this side. Now remember, here comes the be careful part. Remember, this is equal to e to the kx times e to the c. So this little c symbol right here, this is a different c, but they just made this into a huge big C. E to the kx is equal to y. We're not going to worry about the absolute value right now. Everybody understand that? E to the 5 is still a constant. E to the 29 is still a constant. So they just, the formula, they just, instead of writing e to the c times e to the kt, they just say a big C and we'll solve for that initial condition. Oh, is it t? Is it t on the problem? Well, we could just change x to t. No big deal. We'll just make that a t. This is a t, so this is kt. So that'll be t, and that'll be t, and that'll be t right there. Yeah, if we want to make it key, whatever variable we want to use, dy dx, dy dt, that's okay. Okay, Hunter and people are asking, does this make sense? But this differential equation will always produce this equation. That's what you got to remember. So if they give you, and this is one of the ones we studied, look in your binder on exponential growth, this one produces that one. Is everybody with me here so far? We do. Okay, so let me cover that up. So that, but again, we don't have to do that every time. We want to save time on the test by just going, all right, this produces this. Now look what they told me. Okay, they said when t is equal to 0, here's the conditions. When t is equal to 0, The yeast population is, so Y is 120. Can you make sure you could translate that? Y is representing the yeast population. K is a constant. Okay, and then it says, and the yeast population is increasing at a rate of 24 grams per day. So what they're telling you there is they're telling you rate, they said rate, dy dt is 24. That's the information you got to pull from this problem. Okay? So those of you that pick D, you got to right away say, hey, did I have done any calculus? Okay, don't pick D if you haven't done any calculus yet. So as soon as you recognize this is a differential equation, go right to there and then grab the information from the problem. And that's why I see why a lot of people pick D, because you know that's a rate. That was good. You just didn't make the connection of this equation right here. Okay, so in your binder, when you see this, think that. That is the equation. It's not a linear equation like a lot of people pick D. Okay? So now let's plug in the information. When t is equal to 0, y, okay, notice on this one, we got t, we got k. We got to solve for k here. Nobody knows what k is. If I plug t is equal to 0 and y is equal to, using that equation, I get y is equal to 120. I don't know what c is. E, I don't know what k is. And t is equal to 0. I look over this equation, see that's dy dt. 24 equals k, and y is equal to 120. You see, I just plugged into each one of those pieces of information into the equation. Hey, Mrs. Noah. Mrs. Noah's here.
Making you breakfast.
Oh, she's making me breakfast? She's just doing that because this is going loud live.
Yeah, true. I just usually let him go to McDonald's, pick up his own stuff.
Got Diet Coke right here.
Have fun.
Everybody see that? The problem gave me this. My mind has to go to this. These two are hand in hand. Okay, if they make any changes to this, like +5 or something like that, no, you can't do that. You got to do your separation of variables. But this creates this. Now, most people, it looks like those people pick D, pulled this information out of it. So that was fine. So now I just plugged it into the equation. I plug it in the equation. I get K is equal to 1/5. I get 0 times K is 0, e to the 0. C is equal to 120. So what's the equation? Y equals C e to the K T. And there's B right there. Pause for applause here. Ooh, 12 people are watching now. Did you call some people? Get them online? All right. Did that make sense? That was question number 14. And like I said, we're just looking through. Let's go back to that scene. Okay. There you go. We're looking through, trying to find the most missed ones. No, is that? No, that's not it. Hold on. I should have labeled these scenes. There's that equation, and we're just going through and we're trying to find the most missed ones. Jimmy's here. Jimmy, number 25. All right, let's go to 25. Yep, that's a good one. Only 2 people got that one right. Let's look at 25. What do you mean the wrong times? What does that mean? I don't understand. Stephanie, what do you mean the wrong times? Let me double check if this is the same one. 25, is this 25 on the test? Oh, it says 8? Oh. For today. Okay, I will fix that. I thought I put 8:30. 25. 24. All right, this is the same question. So you could use the PDF, okay? Okay, yeah, people got up earlier and got here earlier. So you could use the PDF right here. So that PDF is pretty accurate. So like I said, the plan is, we'll just do a little, the plan is to go through, you have the PDF in front of you, go through 1 through 30, okay, 1 through 30, and which one should we talk about? I like how people are saying saying which ones to go over today. And like I said, I don't want to stress you all out. We'll only go for another 10, 15 minutes, and then post your questions on which ones you want to do. So post your questions and say, let's do this one, let's do this one, let's do this one. And remember, if someone says your question already, just post it again. Just tell me which questions we should do live. And it's looking like people are getting on, so that's good. But we try to, and call your friends and embarrass them for not being here. All right, Jimmy said, let's do number 25. Here's number 25. And 25, let's see what, so it's pretty much all over the board. So let's see what we got. We got h of x. No, just post the questions that you want to talk about. Okay, yeah. Don't, you never have to, we'll just do it live. We'll start explaining the ones live. If you're still stuck, like I know some of you are like, look, Mr. No, I cannot go to sleep unless we talk about question number 17. Well, then just send me a message or a tweet or whatever you guys call it. Send me something to say, and then I'll just get online and say, hey, people are really hung up on this question. But basically what I'm going to do is we'll just keep reviewing. And I'll find questions, especially when we hear more about what the AP test. But the only thing you really have to do is tell me which questions we should go over. So you don't have to post your work or anything like that. Just say, this is the one I'm stuck on. And again, I'm going through the situation. The idea is you guys are working to accomplish the AP test. And I want you to do well on the AP test. It's a weird time. This is different. Okay, can't do anything about it. So let's try to answer as many questions as we can in the time frame that we have. Okay. And then we'll just try to have fun doing math. Doesn't get any easier. So just say question number, like give me 5 or 6 or whatever one you're stuck in. Don't say, hey, I can't do any of them. Okay, just give me 5 or 6 and say, these are the questions we should go over. And then I'll categorize them and I'll say, like 12 people said let's go over number 25, so we'll go over number 25. So we'll continue that tomorrow. Let's do number 24 right now. Okay, so we got a graph. Okay, take a look at the graph right there. I wonder if I could do this. Let's keep learning about technology. How's that? There's our graph. Okay. And that's good. Hey, Stephanie, what do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. I got to get a joke in. All right. So we're doing h of x is equal to f of x times g of x. Everybody hear me say times g of x right there? We want to take the derivative. We got to do product rule here. Okay? We got to do product rule. So you should right now, after you're done laughing at my jokes, everybody should do product rule right now. I'll give you one sip of Diet Coke to get started on that. All right. So h prime of x. And remember, this nice part is this technology. You could pause the screen, try the problem, and then watch me do the problem. You see? Use it to your advantage. F prime of x times g of x. We're doing product rule here. G prime of x times f of x. You see that? I forgot who asked about this. Jimmy. Yeah, did that make sense? Jimmy, do you see you do product rule right there? So then we're plugging in 2. It says find h prime of 2. So h prime of 2 is f. Notice I didn't even look at the graph yet. F prime of 2 times g of 2 minus g prime of 2 times f of 2. You see, didn't even look at the graph yet. I just took the derivative. Okay, so now let's look at the graph. Okay, take a look at the screen here. Okay, we want to find, here's f and here's g. Okay, what represents f prime? You see, the slope represents f prime. This is the graph of f. So the slope is f prime, rise over run. So the slope is 1/2. Okay, so that's 1/2. Doesn't matter where, it's a line. Okay, f of 2, okay, well 2f of 2, I count over here, is 3. No, I'm sorry, g of 2, my fault. G of 2 is 1, sorry. G of 2 is 1. Okay, G prime of 2, here's again, the slope is what's counting, down 2 over 1, so G prime of 2 is negative 2, and F of 2 is 3, as we said. You see how I got all those pieces of information? Okay, the graph, as soon as you see graph, you say, what's representing the slope? What's representing the values? The values are values because it's not the derivative. Okay, well, we're going to clean it up here. Oh, wait, you're right. There should have been a plus there. There should be a plus. Good call. Okay, so we got 1/2 on this side. We got minus 6 on this side. All right, so the answer should be negative 11 over 2. There's your answers right there. Okay, so I think the A is they've lost the plus sign like I did, because that's the answer for A. B, you didn't do product roll, right? If you just did F prime times G prime, not C. C is somebody didn't do product roll there, is what C is, because they just took F prime times G prime. All right, we got time for, like I said, one more question. I'm going to go through my other class here. So 20. All right, let's do 20, and then your assignment is to post. Let me minimize that now. Just don't post your work. I don't need to see your work. In fact, try to do the best you can. Keep all kid stuff off social media and things like that. That's why we're doing this one. So you're just seeing me, which is the way to go. Let's do number 20. Let's finish off with number 20 here. 20, and then we'll double check. I just want to check if this is the exact same problem. Let's see, 20. Uh, 20 is the same problem. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Now it's talking about discontinuity and stuff like that. And the key I see right here is absolute value. Okay? I'm seeing absolute value right there. So you got to remember the whole idea of, and this is the classic, they got something over absolute value of something. Okay? Because they want people to cancel. Like if this was just x over x, then it's 1. But that absolute value makes this graph. That absolute value makes this. When x is positive, it's 1. But when x is negative, you see this is negative 5. Absolute value of negative 5 is positive 5. So when x is negative, it's negative 1. This is what this graph looks like. And that's a classic graph to show discontinuity right there. You see? So in this particular case, they put some bells and whistles on it, but it's the same thing. In this particular problem, they got x minus 2 on top, and they got the absolute value of x minus 2 on the bottom. And they added an extra 2 right there. Okay, so what does that do? What number do they separate at? Okay, you see I'm looking at that. At 2 is where they're going to separate. So look at this graph. At 2 is where the separation goes. And the number is not 1, but it's 1/2. Okay, so this is going to be the positive 1/2 up here. And then this is going to be the negative 1/2 down here. All right, now let's pause right there and make sure everybody understood that. Okay, Hunter's asking, but anybody could be asking about this. Take a look at that. You see? Okay, let me change to the big document here. You see that? You see what I'm talking about? Okay, this is the thinking of what this problem is all about. Okay, here's this particular one. Here's that graph on that. Do you see how I produced that graph? Okay, the 1/2, okay, is, remember, this part right here, okay, this part right here, pick any number you want. I pick 7. I plug in 7, I got 7 minus 2 on top. I got absolute value of 7 minus 2 on the bottom. That's 1. Okay, I picked negative 50. Negative 50. I got negative 52 on top, positive 52 on the bottom. That's negative 1. When you see whatever it is, over, okay, whatever it is, that's going to be either 1 or negative 1 with the absolute value, whether the absolute value is on top or the absolute value. That's always going to be 1 or negative 1 because these are going to cancel if this absolute value wasn't here. So the 1/2 comes from the fact of the extra coefficients right here. The extra coefficient in front, this has a 1 and this has a 1/2. So it's going to be 1 or negative 1 times whatever number is right there. Okay, so the worst case scenario is this takes a little longer, but just start plugging in numbers if you want to visually see what this is talking about. I plug in 25. I plug in 25, I get 23 over 23. They cancel, I got 1/2. So at 25, it's 1/2. I plug in negative 500. I plug in negative 500, I get negative 502 over positive 502. They cancel to be negative 1 times 1/2 is negative 1/2. So all the way over here at negative 500, it's still negative 1/2. So the 1/2 is coming from the coefficients, and the 1 or negative 1 is coming from that canceling right there. You see where that 1/2 is coming from, or negative 1/2, depending on what side of the discontinuity you're on. One side is going to be negative, the other side is going to be positive, and the coefficients determine what that number is. And we're not doing this problem yet, but can everybody see how this equation produces this graph? Visually would be a nice way to take a look at this when we're trying to solve it. But you got to recognize absolute value. As soon as I put absolute value, you got to say to yourself, oh, discontinuity. There's going to be some type of non-differentiability. And don't look for a corner because we're dividing. You see how we're dividing right here? Since we're dividing, things are going to cancel before we even do any derivatives or anything like that. Okay, so now let's look at the choices. The limit as x approaches 2 is 1/2. All right, that's false. Is this removable or not removable discontinuity? Well, it's a jump, a break. It's not removable. Removable looks like this. Okay, here's removable. Removable looks like this. Okay, where you have a hole, but the limit still exists. Okay, so notice if you said A wasn't correct, then B couldn't have been correct either, because this limit exists. Okay, and then there's a jump. That's C, the correct answer. No vertical asymptote, so D has to be incorrect. Okay? All right. So, like I said, keep working through this. The sheet right here, the PDF, let me put the PDF up. The PDF I posted is the exact same test that you took online. So go through the multiple choices, 1 through, spend a little more time on that, 1 through 30. Tell me which questions we should talk about. Now remember the don't do area and volume ones because that's not on the new AP test. That's not on new objectives. We'll spend our time using that. Again, I doubt they said the test will be free responses, so we'll go to more free responses. But these are good to cover just to refresh our memory on different types of problems. So I'm thinking the test that you're going to take is just going to be free response, and I'll find some free response questions for that. Anybody have any other questions before we go? And I'll post on Schoology what the assignment is. And like I said, just write down the questions that you want to talk about. That's the assignment. How we feeling here? Everybody doing okay? We'll go through more of these tomorrow. So think about the questions you want to talk about tomorrow and use this test to check that out. If everybody's happy, okay. Like do question number 2, Hunter. We're gonna cut out because I got to teach the other class now. But what I want you to do is post those questions. Anything that you know you're stuck on, post those questions. And don't, if just because someone else posted that question, okay, you just say it again. Say it because then I'll know which ones to start off with. Okay, what's your quick question on number 2? Let me bring up number 2 here. Here we go. What do you got? you're taking the integral. And did you use U substitution? Since I see the fraction right there. Excuse me. Yeah, you'd have to use U substitution. And you should go from there. Well, go through. Don't just do it in your head. U is equal to, okay, let me put it on the screen here. If U is equal to 3x, I can't see it, 3x plus 12, du dx is equal to 3. So du equals 3 dx. You see what I'm doing? So dx is equal to du over 3. So now we got the integral of 1 over u du over 3. So here's the 1/3 out in front. You see that? Let me pull it up here on AP Classroom so you can see it a little bigger. You see how I did that? Yeah, there you go. You can see it better. So that's why it's the 1/3 out in front, not a 3. And there's your natural log coming up here. Okay, now look at how the choices are different though. This is 1/3 natural log absolute value of RU 3x plus 12 plus C. You see that? But I don't see a 3x plus 12 inside there. Okay, so you have to factor out 1/3 natural log. Okay, you see how that 3 x plus 12, just make sure that 3, that x plus 4, if I factor that out, just trying to match up. Now it's all really just trying to match up algebraically with what's inside there. But that's why it's x plus 4 is that natural log of 3 right there. We could spend a little more time. All right, I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to go teach the other class. And like I said, work through those. I'll post that on Schoology. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Check your grades out. Okay, if you see a problem with the grade, send me a message. I think grades are pretty much updated for the rest of the year. So let me know how that looks. Talk to you later.